Aces and Ashes. Chapter 8. The Grand Illusion. The stench of the sewer line still clung to them, a grim reminder of their desperate escape. They emerged, bedraggled and defeated, into a desolate alleyway near the edge of the strip, the harsh morning light exposing their weariness. The loss of the blueprints was a gaping wound. MJ felt it keenly, the meticulously organized information she'd stored now inaccessible, floating somewhere in the hands of Thorne's mercenaries. They found refuge in a cramped, disused storage unit Ethan maintained on the fringes of the city, a sanctuary filled with forgotten props, costume pieces, and the ghosts of past performances. It was dusty, unglamorous, but safe. For now, the silence between them was heavy, weighted by the crushing reality of their situation. They knew, MJ finally whispered, her voice raw. They were waiting. He anticipated our move on the Black Diamond. Every step. How? Her eidetic memory was a powerful tool, but it offered no answers to this kind of preemptive strike. Ethan, usually quick with a witty retort or a reassuring platitude, was uncharacteristically quiet. He sat cross-legged on the floor, the antique key spinning idly in his fingers. The thrum had intensified since the ambush, a frantic pulse that mirrored the turmoil in his own mind. He was a master of misdirection, but he'd been misdirected, outmaneuvered. He didn't just anticipate, Ethan finally said, his voice low, thoughtful. He orchestrated. Joe's vague memories of the Black Diamond, they were just enough to lead us there. It was bait. He let us find the entrance to confirm our intentions, to see what we'd do. He closed his eyes, the pieces of Thorne's ruthless strategy clicking into place. And the blueprints, MJ added, a new horror dawning. He didn't just want to stop us, he wanted to take our knowledge. He wanted to see how much we knew, what we were planning. He played us. The sting of that realization was a bitter pill. The odds, already stacked against them, now felt insurmountable. Thorne had the resources, the intelligence, the ruthless cunning. They had a singular antique key, MJ's photographic memory, and Ethan's fading reputation. Despair gnawed at the edges of their resolve. So, what now? MJ asked, her voice bordering on resignation. He has the blueprints. He knows we know. He'll find the main vault before we can, and destroy everything. Ethan's eyes, however, snapped open, a dangerous spark igniting within their depths. No, he knows what we know, but not how we know. He has the map, but not the understanding. He has the physical blueprint, but not the instinct that led you to find it, or the whispers that led me to the key. His hand clenched around the key, its warmth spreading, a sudden surge of inspiration, audacious and reckless, flowing through him. He wants to destroy the past, Ethan continued, his voice gaining strength, the showman's bravado returning, sharper, more focused than ever. He wants to sanitize history. Fine, we won't let him. We'll force his hand. We'll expose him, not by running, but by putting him on the biggest stage he's ever seen. MJ frowned. What are you talking about? A grand illusion, Ethan declared, rising to his feet, his worn tuxedo jacket still clinging to him, a symbol of a forgotten life now suddenly imbued with new purpose. My specialty. We lure him, not into a trap he expects, but into a performance. We make him chase us into the heart of the Desert Bloom Project, and when he thinks he has us, when he thinks he's won, we broadcast the truth bomb to the world. MJ stared, stunned. You want to lead him into the tunnels? Into his own hidden stronghold? That's suicidal, Ethan. No, Ethan corrected, a wild light in his eyes. It's misdirection. He expects us to be thieves, trying to steal evidence. He expects us to be runners, trying to escape. He won't expect us to be performers, using his own obsession with secrecy against him. We turn his pursuit into our stage. The Oasis Palace, its tunnels, the entire city. It becomes the backdrop for the final act. His plan, born from desperation and a lifetime of understanding human perception, was taking shape with dazzling speed. We activate the retrieval system from the blueprints, the one designed to disseminate information. You, with your eidetic memory, you know the infrastructure, the hidden conduits. You can prepare the technical means for broadcast. I will create the spectacle. Diversions, traps, Illusions that will force Thorne and his men deeper and deeper into the labyrinth, disorienting them, leading them precisely where we want them to go. MJ's mind, despite her initial shock, was already processing the logistics. The retrieval system was complex, a network of pneumatic tubes, old communication lines, and what looked like early radio transmission equipment integrated into the very structure of the Desert Bloom project. If she could reactivate it, if she could find a way to tap into the casino's main broadcast systems, it was a long shot, but perhaps, just perhaps, it was possible. We'd need to reactivate old lines, MJ muttered, thinking aloud. Bypass modern security. Connect to an external broadcast point without detection. It would take a master's knowledge of both architecture and obsolete tech. You have that knowledge, Ethan stated, his voice unwavering. And I have the ability to make them look the other way. To make them chase shadows while you work. We use every trick in the book, every hidden passage, every secret we've learned about this city. We turn the Oasis Palace into our arena. He began sketching rapidly on a crumpled piece of paper, outlining escape routes, choke points, areas of high traffic. The casino floor for the initial diversion. Service tunnels for the pursuit. Back-of-house areas for the chicanery. And the Mirage Room? He paused, a ghost of a smile playing on his lips. The stage where my career ended, will be the stage where the truth begins. Over the next few days, working in the shadows, fueled by caffeine and an almost feverish determination, they began to prepare. Ethan, with MJ's mental blueprints guiding him, meticulously set up his props throughout the Oasis Palace. Small, localized smoke emitters hidden in ventilation shafts. Spring-loaded panels disguised as maintenance access points. Tripwires connected to obsolete alarm systems. Strategically placed mirrors to create phantom figures in dim corridors. Every trick, every deception he had ever learned, was now repurposed for a deadly game of cat and mouse. He moved with a renewed sense of purpose, his movements fluid and precise. This wasn't about cheap tricks, it was about survival, about exposing a deep-seated corruption. The key, always with him, guided him to forgotten nooks and crannies, places only the architects would have known. Meanwhile, MJ, armed with her extraordinary memory, meticulously reconstructed the retrieval system from the lost blueprints in her mind. She spent hours in public libraries, poring over old electrical schematics and communication diagrams, learning about the forgotten technology that powered early Vegas. She needed to identify the main conduit, the ultimate broadcast point, and find a way to tap into it, bypassing Thorne's modern, digital security. Her fingers, usually adept at cleaning, now flew across circuit diagrams and wiring plans. Her goal? To send the raw, unedited, truth bomb, the contents of the vault, out into the world, to every news channel, every major network, before Thorne could suppress it. She envisioned an intricate web of rerouted signals, a ghost broadcast, untraceable until it was too late to stop. The main casino's broadcast antenna, MJ announced one evening, pointing to a spot on a diagram of the Oasis Palace's roof structure. It's the most powerful signal. And there's an old, defunct repeater station in the sub-basement, directly connected to the echoing heart on the blueprints. If I can re-establish that connection, and then reroute its output to the main antenna. She trailed off, the complexity of the task daunting. Then the world hears, Ethan finished, his voice grim. Then Thorne's empire crumbles. They were two unlikely allies, a disgraced magician and a meticulous cleaner, preparing for the performance of a lifetime. They had lost ground, suffered a setback, but they hadn't lost their resolve. The stage was set, the illusions ready. They would lure the predator into his own lair, and there, amidst the dust and whispers of old Vegas, they would unleash the truth, a grand illusion designed not to deceive, but to reveal. The final act was approaching, and it would be a spectacle Thorne would never forget.